Well, Aitor, thanks for talking to Blues TV. Back to league matters this weekend. A full week to prepare. How important has it been to have that week on the pitch with the players?
Once again, has been really good because I said always that I don't have any complaint about the attitude here in the training ground, and I said always that it's a shame that this good work in the training ground is not reflected on the games, and it's even more than a shame when we show that we are able to do it, because if we hadn't shown that we are good enough to compete against every single team, it would have been something to be worried. But I am really calm because I think the last game against Man City was the reflection of what is happening this year. So 45 minutes to forget, and then with a different shape, a shape that we are not training in the training ground, with different players, we were much better in the second half than we had been in the first half. So we competed against them. We had a completely different face on the pitch. So it's something that I am trying to find why is happening. And now I had time during the week to analyze what is happening on the pitch and outside the pitch, and I will have time to keep going, because it's not normal at a team which started as good as we started at the beginning of the season, and to be in the position where we are now. And I am fed up about the listeners, that is the mentality or the lack of confidence, because we didn't have that lack of confidence at the beginning of the season, and we were really good, really consistent, and really committed at the beginning of the season. So if we were in that good way at the beginning of the season, why we are not in that condition? So it's something that I am working, and I hope to find the solutions, because again, I think the work and the spirit that the players are showing me every day here in the training ground is not hasn't been reflected on the pitch.
Has that been your biggest challenge since you came in? Now we are at the halfway point now of the season. Everybody can talk about picking a starting lineup, using the right shape, but scratching around to find the answers why we have been so inconsistent. Is that your biggest challenge?
I knew that it was gonna be a tough challenge to come here, but 5 months later, I am much more happier than I was when I signed here, because this club is challenging me every day. So I am finding completely different thing that I found in Middlesbrough or in at Forest. So again, every single day in this club is a challenge. We started really well, so I was really pleased. But suddenly we started with a carousel of games, 9 games in 2 months, or almost in 2 months. So you don't have time to go in depth. So then you go game by game by game. But now when I've had 2 weeks to sitting down to analyze what is happening, I found that it's nothing about the players, because they showed that they are good enough. The players who were here, that everybody had been criticized them, they were really good at the beginning of the season. The players who arrived in the summer showed that they are very good players, even without playing in their teams before they came here. St Andrew's excuse, I don't want to have that excuse, and I said after some games that I don't want to take that excuse, because in St Andrew's the first month we won 2 games, we drew another one, and we lost one with an unfair penalty. So if the players were here were good, if the players who have arrived were good, if St Andrews is not that excuse, something is not right. So now I have time to analyze, and I hope that the progress that the club and the improvement that the club is having behind the scenes will be reflected on the pitch as soon as possible.
So you're confident that you've found the missing piece and what hasn't been happening for us over this first half of the season?
I hope, but when I correct this problem, I will have another one for sure. So I know I came, I'm ready. So again, I'm enjoying it every day because again, the more challenging the job is, the much more you can improve as a coach.
Middlesbrough next up, a club you obviously know well. George Friend has been talking to members of the press as well. Do you look forward to this game more than any other, or is it just the next game for you?
It's a game that I am really looking forward because we lost a game against them 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. That I am still now asking myself how we could lose that game, because if you look at the first 25-30 minutes and if you look at the stats at the end of the game, it's understandable that how good we started that game. We scored 1 goal, we had another 2 chances to score the second or the third one, and then after the game, when you look at the stats, and they had, I think, 4 shots on target and they scored 4 goals, it's something that is difficult to understand. But we have to learn from that game, and we have to take the good things, and if we go and if we approach the game in the right way, for sure we can beat them.
Is the approach to remember what happened 3 or 4 weeks ago and take that into Saturday, or do you have to forget all about that and approach this as a totally isolated game on its own?
I think that game was another one, because 1 week later we made the same mistakes. We lost 4-0 at home, and again I am really positive with the future, because again I think I found the reasons that why the players are not as good as we were at the beginning of the season. Because again, it's not about the players, because every single player has shown that he can play in this shape. If we look at the players who maybe has played the less games, and I have one in my mind, which who Josh Cogley, he's played 2 games and he's played really well. So if we are speaking about the shapes, I can tell you that we played really bad with a shape that we are used to play every game, and with a shape that we played really good games like Reading or Bristol, and we played really bad 45 minutes against Man City. And then we played a really good 45 minutes with a shape that we never trained, or we played just sometimes. So again, the players know that everybody is going to be important. The players know to play in every single shape. The players know to attack, they know to defend, because they've shown everybody that they are able to do it. So it's just to go with the same confidence that we had at the beginning of the season, and to keep going forward, because we are at the half of the season, and now I told the players, you can see the glass half full or half empty, and I am the kind of person that I like to see the half full, because I think we have a very good future in front of us.
I was just about to say, you sound extremely confident now going forward. You've maintained that confidence in both yourself and the team as well. Is the hope that it can rub off on the players now with a full half of the season and so many points still up for grabs?
I'm convinced, because again, you can't, and I said to you, speaking about the specific games, if it's impossible to convince the players that you can win 1 game if you are not convinced. So I am the first who is convinced that the hard work that everybody is doing in this club will be reflected on the pitch. And once again, I am really calm, because the CEO, the chairman, the club has transmitted me that calm. So I know that I knew that it was going to be a tough challenge. Everybody knew, because when you are arriving to a club which had survived in the last day, which hasn't spent money in the transfer market, and to wait for a nice life is difficult. So I knew it, and again, my relationship with the CEO is amazing. We trust each other, so they know that I am trying my best, and when you are working together, at the end of the day, the club will be much better than it is at the moment.
Everybody points out to the fact that our form away from home has been better than at St Andrews. I'm going to ask you the toughest question. Why is that?
I will tell you, let me another month, and you will know the answer.
Is that the key to it? You can address that home form, and you couple that with the away results that we have got, and clearly you'll see a difference in results.
Yes, but again, I can't take it as an excuse, because if St Andrews would be a problem, I think we would have lost every single game. And we won the first game. We drew the second one, but we played much better than Rotherham. And even in that game, we came back, which is important, because if you are not confident at St Andrews, you don't come back, even against Rotherham. It's true that we lost against Sev Wednesday, but with an unfair penalty. So I think we didn't deserve to lose that game. And we beat Huddersfield the following game. So if St Andrews had been a problem, we would have lost 4 games. And in those 4 games, just we lost 1. So again, it's not excuses. It's time to forget what happened before the summer, what is happening in the last months, and to keep doing the things that we did at the beginning of the season, to change the atmosphere, to know that everybody is good enough to compete at the highest level in this league, and to trust each other in the way that they trust the players.
Looking ahead to the Middlesbrough game and the return to the Riverside, is it just a shame from a personal point of view there'll be no supporters there, both travelling supporters and the home crowd?
Yeah, because it would have been really nice to go back there. The last twice that I went there, the reception was really emotional for me, and to have the Middlesbrough crowd and our crowd in that game would have been amazing. But I said always that the times that we are living, and I hope that we can leave those situations, the same situation, as soon as possible, knowing that it's going to be difficult. But once again, if they can't be there, we have to work harder to make them happy at home.
Lots of questions this week about COVID protocol on the pitch, particularly around when a goal's scored and players are celebrating and hugging and embracing each other. You've been a player, you've scored goals and felt that euphoria when you've scored. How difficult is it to control that behaviour when you've just scored a goal in a game?
I didn't score that many goals, but no, it's difficult, especially a team which is not scoring goals, to tell the players to know to get together when we score 1 goal is difficult. But again, it's the times that we are living, and I'm sorry to the CEO, but if the club has to pay some fines because we are celebrating goals, it means that we are scoring goals, which is the main thing. But it's true that we have to be careful, because with these situations everybody should be aware, and I think we are a good example, because we haven't tested the positive so far, except the Duke is positive at the beginning of the season. So it means that we are working well, and we have to be careful with these protocols.
Finally on that, how are we shaping up in terms of injuries? Obviously Gary Gardner and Alan Halilovic have missed out recently. How are they both doing?
They are progressing well, but they haven't trained with the team yet. So let's see what is happening tomorrow, and then I will decide, because both of them are muscle injuries. So I don't want to take a risk with any one of them. So let's see what is happening. If they are in the squad or they are on the pitch, it means that they are 100%.
Artur, as always, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.